Greetings and welcome back to Hiveswap Friendsim, the final chapter. Or is it? I kinda doubt that, honestly. Because here's the thing. This one, 19. Locked. I highly doubt the developers made a mistake where they just set it up to automatically populate, create another one of these things for everyone that they did release additionally. I don't believe that. Once we complete the little child, clown, twin things over yonder that you can't see. Let me take that away from me. There we go. These two little kids. We saw them briefly, very, very briefly. Baizli and something else. Bosmir or whatever. I already know exactly what kind of voice I'm going to give them though. The same first time give it with like supernatural, energetic, ominous kids. At least a childlike appearances. The Miskatonic had those as well. That's a good one. That's an interesting little story there. But anyway, I digress. Let's continue and conclude Volume 18 of Endings Mini and unlock the epilogue. And I will see you there as well. After about, I'm guessing 30 to 70 minutes. Because this one, no, I don't think it'll be 70 minutes long, this one. Anyway, I'm distracting myself. Let's get a little comfortable. And crash landed on a planet called Alternia. You stagger from your wreckage of your ship. You went desperate for information, for provisions, and possibly a bit of medical attention, but most of all, you're desperate for friendship. Is what you could say if you were written by a bunch of hacks who cared about the Aristotelian ideal of indirect unity. Fuck that. Fuck you, indeed. We're here for fun. Possibly you could make some reference to circle being complete in a topless imbecilic manner, but we're all in this together, right? Of course we fucking are. And we're all learned and grown enough to know that there's something deep and dark and absurd brewing beneath the surface. Yeah, of course there is. We saw that with Foza. He was taken, and converted. This really isn't about friendship anymore, is it? I mean, it still is, absolutely. You got enough friends now, you need answers. No, you need... Oh, shit. Oh, god damn it. Yeah, basically last time we fucked as well. Apparently trolls do fuck, so that's good to know, I guess. Apparently Stickman here, us, we are terrible. We are a terrible fuck. Which probably isn't surprising. But maybe incompatible biology. I don't know. I don't really care, honestly. But yes. Now, goddammit. This was just the intro screen. Yes, it was. Barzum and Baizli. That was close enough. Bosmir. No, it wasn't close enough. One is laughing, one is calm. The other is calm. And the one is laughing now. Switching sides, eh? Who's laughing? Who's being a little kidder? And who's in front with the horn? Or with the mask? Ha 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 ha. Anyway. That's some interesting eyeliner they have there as well. Going there. Red at the bottom and blue at the top. That's neat. That's cool. Anyway, let's see what this is about. These clowns. Twins. You've gotten pretty good at the old friend-making game by now. But even an old hand at palling around like you, a real platonic Lothario, has bad nights sometimes. Tonight was one of those nights. It's getting close to morning, and not a new friend in sight. You'd met new people, sure, but none of your conversations had panned out the way you wanted them to. Every interaction had come to a close with your friend count no higher than when you'd started. No matter how many compliments, offers to help, and other tried and true friendship strategies you'd whip out. You won't stand for it. You're determined to finish out the night with at least one more new buddy's name in your little black friendship book. But with the sun's about to rise, you have to admit you're cutting it a little close. As each minute ticks by, the sky gets a little lighter and the possibility of dying an agonizing fiery death gets higher. Maybe it'd be best for you to just pack it in and find somewhere to spend the day. You pick up your trusty palm husk and call up one of your many friends you already have to ask if you can crash. Hell, maybe Skal will be up for sharing a Cooper again. The soothing ooze has kind of grown on you, And sleeping next to Skyla always makes you feel so comfy and safe. Yeah, she's good, like Big Spoon. Turns out Skyla's more than down with your coming over. Time to make tracks. You turn tail and hurry in the direction of Skyla's digs, but it's not long until you run into a distraction. Spooky haunted mansion. Oh, those are great. Those are the best distractions. That distraction is in the form of a house. It's a dark, crooked thing hulking close to the ground. Slatted wood walls, sloping roofs, vines cling to it like dust, and cobwebs cling to forgotten things in the attic. Something about it feels off. You think. It possesses a certain energy that sends shivers up your spine, making your hair stand on end. An instinct deep in your gut is telling you to give it a wide berth. On the other hand, it's shelter. Skyla's place is a ways off yet, while the house is right here in front of you. It could be worth seeing if whoever lives here is willing to put you up for the day. Approach the house. Of course we have to approach the house. There's nothing else to do. There's nothing else for it. You make your way towards the house, even though everything inside you is just screaming at you to stay away. Even though with every step you take, your chest tightens and your hands tremble. By the time you reach the door, you're shaking like a leaf. Adrenaline zings through you. You could choke on it. You want to run, but you force yourself to keep moving forward. It's a slow motion race between you and the sunrise. At this rate, the suns will make it all the way into the sky before we can even knock. You drag yourself the rest of the way, stumbling onto the front step. The door knocker is an intricate yet grotesque thing, an undulating tongue lolling out of a set of sharp teeth all in cast iron. You grab the lumpy end of the tongue and bang it against the door. Nothing. Fuck. Maybe you'll get lucky and the door will be open. Out of options, you reach out and turn the doorknob. You can feel the first licks of sunlight against the back of your neck. Is it just you, or is your skin starting to blister? But today's your lucky day. The door opens. You should feel overjoyed at your life being spared. Instead, your focus is fully on how the roiling in your belly has bloomed fully into nausea. In the distance, inexplicably, is the peal of sirens, an insistent whining noise that only continues getting louder. You shouldn't have come here, but it's not like you had another choice. You might as well see what awaits you inside. But as soon as you cross the threshold, the world lurches and you pass out. You come to an indifferent room in the foyer, head ringing like someone just whacked it. When you move to sit up, there's the sound of skittering all around you, like hundreds of tiny insects are scurrying away to safety. Had they been roving the floor while you were knocked out? Gross. You prop yourself back up on your hands and take a look around. Your impromptu nap has done nothing to assuage the deep sense of wrongness you have about this place. But hey, maybe you've managed to sleep through the day. Maybe the sun has set again so you can get the hell out of here. This sense of optimism is misplaced, probably, but it's not as if you can check. There are no windows. You cast your eyes around the room. Underneath the floral peeling wallpaper, the walls are riddled with damp and mold. And on the other side of the room, an open door, thank fuck. You aren't locked in then. You can go look for somewhere else in this place that might have got the damn window. You step into a long, winding corridor. It's so cramped you feel almost as though the walls are closing in. Well, it had been warm enough outside. In here, a deep chill settles over you, sinking deep in your bones. You're half convinced you'll never be warm again. Emanating from somewhere you can't see is music, tinny and rhythmic. It's soon interrupted by a crackling noise, like someone trying to tune into the correct station on a radio. Then, one of the pictures picture frames lights up. Looks like it was actually some sort of TV screen.
Welcome. Welcome. We're glad you're awake and that you came to visit us. We've been really bored in this stinky old house. It really sucked. We could have just died from how boring it was.
Two voices. One monotonous, no. And so quiet you can barely hear that, false. I'm not doing that. They have identical voices. The other shrill, dramatic, also false. Not doing that. They have
Cheeky voices.
That's what I'm gonna give them. And there's no changing that. I already decided that long before. Like its owner never learned the meaning of the words indoor voice. Catching what the quieter person is saying isn't made any easier by the high-pitched giggling that starts up in the background whenever they start speaking.
So hurry up and find us. We want to play a game.
Gee, why do those words give you such a profound sense of deja vu? The line goes dead. At the same time, a door pops open at the other end of the corridor. You're meant to go through it, you guess. You'd rather go somewhere else, anywhere else, other than through that door. But there's nowhere else to go. Or is there? No, there isn't. Approach the door. Yes. Yes, let's get drugged up. Your wariness only intensifies once you set off down the hall, because the walls start fucking bleeding. You've seen enough throw blood at this point to be able to recognize it. Multicolored streams ooze over the wallpaper and faded portraits lining the wall, collecting and congealing in sticky, viscous puddles on the floor. That narrow hallway becomes steeped in the stench of copper. You walk faster, but the streams of blood follow you, sluicing down from the ceiling as quickly as you walk. You reach the door. Eager to get away from the grisly sight, you throw it open, but oh god, you hadn't considered what might be awaiting for you or behind it. One of these two shady characters plan to torture you, tie you up and steal your palm husk, texting embarrassing messages to your friends while you can only look on in horror, helpless and unable to intervene. Anything but that. True torment. It's too dark to see anything. All you can do is fumble and feel around you with your hands. Getting out of the room again is a no-go. The door swung shut behind you as soon as you stepped inside. You shuffle forward on wobbly legs. The floor feels unstable somehow, like it's going to open up and swallow you at any moment. Would it be a good idea to call out to see if anyone's here? You manage a feeble "hello?" Your voice echoes. Soft laughter reverberates back in response. You catch a glimpse of something from the corner of your eye. A flash of purple. There's the sensation of eyes on the back of your neck, watching you. But you can't discern where the other presence in the room is, if there even is one. You kind of hate this. Of all the shitty welcomes you've received, this one takes the cake. You have to get out of here. You try to gather your panicked thoughts together to formulate a plan, but before you can do anything, a series of ropes appears seemingly from nowhere, coiling tight around you and holding you down.
You're finally here. We've been waiting for you.
A light comes on. It's not the warm, burning rays of sunlight. This room is windowless too. But a spotlight, bright and harsh. It lights up a broad swath of the room, bleaching it white and sending long shadows stretching away from it. You can see your captors more clearly now. Two purple blood kids. Aside from their expressions, they look exactly the same. A manic glint sparkles in the eye of one of them, as sharp as his razor blade grin. The other looks more hesitant, almost sad.
We're Baizli. And Barzum. You're the alien, ain't ya? You look weird. Your body's real weird. We wonder what color your blood is. or how springy and slimy your ass tubes are. They squirm around like slither beasts when we slice open the trolls' bellies. Are yours the same?
You struggle against your bones. You have no idea what acid tubes are, but you'd much rather they stay inside your body where they belong, thanks. You thought you'd moved past the days where you had to serve as a torture muppet. All you needed was a few hours shelter from the sun, and if it's safe to go outside again, you'd really like to leave. This was the wrong thing to say, apparently. The twins leer at you disapprovingly, or well, one of them looks so disappointed he might burst into tears. The other just looks pissed.
No way! We told you! We've been so bored! Do you know what it's like to be all alone? With no one else to play with? Or wipes? We might have each other. We're never truly alone. That's what makes being us so great. But it's a little difficult to play pranks on someone who always knows what you're thinking and feeling.
Wait, you thought Barzum was the quiet one, Baizli was the loud one. But it looks like you were mistaken. Or did they switch? If you weren't faced with the prospect of having your innards yanked out and played with by bloodthirsty children, you might be more puzzled by that statement. As it stands, you have more pressing problems on your mind right now, so the words more or less fly over your head. You squirm harder even though it doesn't do any good. In fact, it just seems to make the twins madder. Sadder? You settle on smadder.
Stop trying to get away. It's always like this. Nobody ever wants to play with us. We hate it. Now hold still.
You look at them beseechingly, trying to appear as small and helpless as possible. Maybe it's a little pathetic giving puppy dog eyes to literal children, but you lost track of your own dignity a long time ago. They're not really going to do this, right? This is Alternia, and they're clowns. Yes, they will. A noise starts up. It sounds suspiciously like a chainsaw. And is it just you, or is there the scent of raw meat in the air? Where the hell is it coming from? You continue straining in your bones, stomach clenching in fear, bile rising at the back of your throat. They're not actually going to hurt you, right? Oh god. Oh god. Oh god. Oh. You wake up, gasping, but you aren't strapped down anymore. You're in the same room that you were in at the beginning. What happened? The room hasn't changed since you've been gone. There's still only one way out. You really, really don't want to step through that door again, but what else can you do? You step through the door. There's that radio crackling again.
Welcome. Welcome. We're glad you're awake.
The little greeting goes on just like it had before. A pre-recorded message, maybe? Your heart pounds as you step through the second door. You're hoping you'll be able to sidestep the ropes this time, but instead of getting tied up, you trip forward into a vat of what feels like glue. You were lucky enough to have turned your face away from the stickiness, so your nose is still above the surface so you can breathe. For now, anyway. But you can't move.
You're finally here. We've been waiting for you.
They're acting like it was the first time all over again. What is this fuckery? Are they messing with you? You met already, mere minutes ago.
No, we would have remembered. Meeting a weirdo like you. Stop trying to trick us.
But then everything goes black for a third time. And here you are again.
Welcome. Welcome.
Are you for real? This time you get shoved into a box. You're pretty sure you pass out while you're in the middle of getting buried alive. You come to in the room you're beginning to think of as yours yet again. You pass out 5 times, 10, you begin to lose count. You never pass out at the same point during the twins' shenanigans, but it inevitably happens. And you always end up right back where you started. Oh, we're trapped in the in Groundhog Loop, but slightly different. It's like it's similar to that Tom Cruise movie. I forget what it was called, but where he gets an alien looks at him, gives him time powers where it just reverts back to a set point in time, like a save state. Literally, no, it's literally a save state. You go back to a save state upon failure. The worst part is that while your conversation with the twins stays the same, the way they trap you changes. You get thrust upside down from the ceiling, dunked into a water tank, scrabbling to get out while your lungs begin to burn from lack of air. Every time you black out before you can die, but you've almost died dozens of times by now, and it's really beginning to stress you out. Oh, just stressing us out. Okay, well, I guess we're used to Alternia being a fucked up place already. You have to be stuck in some sort of time loop. You see this sort of thing in movies all the time, and everyone knows that movies are the best points of reference for one's actual life. Yeah, I just did the same thing, literally. The hero wakes up to the strains of an old pop song playing in the radio and reminisces over their childhood journals, which sends them back in time where they have to stop a crime before it happens. Or maybe you were thinking of a different movie. I was. I don't know what that movie's reference to. Anyway, your point is that you have to find a way out of the loop. Hopefully you won't have to do anything too wild, like stab your past self and then throw your own bloody corpse out the window. That would really, really blow. Unfortunately, you can't seem to find any clues indicating what you should do next. You always pass out. The twins are always excited to play with / torture you. They don't seem to be aware that any of this is happening, from what you can tell. After around 20-something or other, you've had it. Enough is enough. You can't take any more giggling and any more of that hard damp floor, any more excruciating games. You might not be any close to figuring out what to do, but you have to try something. Remember who you are. It's like the Lion King reference. I haven't actually seen that movie, but that's like, I know that. Remember who you are. We're here to make friends. I don't even. There's one thing you've been doing wrong. Making this all about escape. You've been so preoccupied with not getting sliced to pieces with knives and everything that you've lost track of what's truly important. Yes, friendship. We're here to befriend people. The word that echoes in your heart when you rise at dusk and pulses through your bloodstream during the rest of your waking hours until it's time to go to sleep. The word that's kicked off every single narrative you've starred in thus far. Yeah, literally giant, bold, yellow lettering. Friendship, there we go. You'll do things differently this time. You're going to bring yourself to truly care about these creepy clown children, goddammit, even if it's the last thing you do. And with with the way things are going, it very well could be. Their MO is oddly benign this time. A tickling machine. Unfortunately, it's a little difficult for you to talk to them through all the laughter.
What are those noises you're making? I think they're trying to tell us something.
Miraculously, the tickling stops. You wheeze, trying to catch your breath, hoping to God you haven't peed. You've managed not to wet yourself out of fear until now. It'd be just the worst to have broken your streak due to laughing too hard. What is it about clowns and you divesting your body of waste? After assuring yourself that your underwear is blessedly dry, you ask, if they kill you, won't they just be alone again? How is that beneficial for anyone? They'll be bored and you'll be dead, which you would really rather not be. Their creeping, saccharine smiles transform into matching expressions of confusion. Barzum puts her finger to her chin, cocking her head to one side and as if deep in thought. Almost like a puppy. Under any other circumstance, you might even consider it cute. It is cute.
What are you talking about? We don't want to kill you. Maybe just cut you a little. You'll heal right up again. Don't be such a wiggler.
Some of the things they've tried to inflict on you would have definitely taken more than your regular human healing functions to recover from. But wait, you think back to Ramel taking a whole ass club in her side and acting like it was no big. She'd said something about higher blood clots being able to take more of a beating too. Are the twins assuming that that's the case for everyone? God, this is what happens when all the adults in the society go off-planet and leave a bunch of zoo animals to bring up their kids. Or, well, trolls also solve most of their problems by killing each other. You can't discount that either, you suppose. You take a closer look at the twins. There isn't any malice in either of their faces. The only emotion you can discern is idle curiosity. You decide to take that as encouragement. You explain that no, you won't heal up from being sliced open, or from an on-fire scuttlebuggy being flung at your head, because you are a human, and humans heal differently from trolls. Well, differently from high-blood trolls at least. You even use your own best babysitter voice for good measure. You feel like you're giving a stern talking to about the importance of taking care of one's toys so that they don't break. Instead, you propose, why don't you be friends? You can all play together instead of you being the subject of their torment. They're able to play with you for longer that way too. They give you a strange look.
Friends? What's that?
Do people not agree to be their playmates very often?
No. Usually everyone runs in the other direction. So we have to catch them. Or trick them.
That explains a lot. You think you're beginning to understand. If they let you down, you can try and show them what you have in mind. They do. They actually free you. They turn all the lights on in the room too, so you can finally see everything in it. It's bigger than you expected, and set up like a circus tent. A bar is suspended along the ceiling. A person-sized target board rotates at dizzying speeds against the back wall. Juggling clubs, knives, scarves, and other props are piled across the room. You recognize a few of the mechanisms they had inflicted on you before. It's pure chaos. So what else do they do with all this stuff? They're still staring at you as if they aren't quite sure how to deal with you engaging with them voluntarily. You're feeling pretty tentative yourself. This whole interaction seems incredibly precarious. You're afraid that if you make a misstep, you'll end up back in the tickling rack again.
This isn't ours. We just found what we got here. But it does look like what's in our hive. We can show you. We can do shows. And stunts. All kinds of cool stuff.
Fuck, even when they aren't threatening you, the way they talk is in chorus like that freaks you out a little. In perfect unison, they're like one voice instead of two. Yeah, no, it's just one voice constantly. You shake off your fears and suggest that they show you a little something. They seem to like the idea. Excitedly, they scurry over to the target board. One twin stands against it, while the other picks up a handful of throwing knives. You're anxious. You don't exactly want them to rough up each other instead of you, but Barzum just throws knives in a graceful arc. They surround Baizli perfectly, barely missing him. You gasp, your mouth a perfect oh! The twins seem pleased with themselves, laughing together like they're sharing a secret.
If you think that's impressive, watch this!
They execute a sick flip on a pair of trapezes above a bed of swords, make a daring escape from one of the contraptions they trapped you in. They move similarly to how they speak, perfectly in tandem with each other. With the variety of obsessions you've seen among your friends, it figures that it was only a matter of time until you met someone who made a hobby of risking their lives. It's not too out of there compared to cage fighting, you suppose, or collecting saucy East Alternian figures.
You could have just escaped from the trap he put you in earlier, you know? Why didn't you?
You laugh nervously. You haven't exactly had much practice, and maybe it would have been easier if you had someone else to help. You look at the two of them pointedly. You didn't even realize siblings were a thing among trolls, let alone twins.
Sibling? What's that?
You know, someone you share a lusus with? Someone you hatched with in the same clutch? Are you phrasing that right?
We do share lusus. We share everything. We didn't just hatch from the same clutch. We hatched from the same egg. We were going to be a single troll, but we split in two. Just our bodies, though. Our minds are still one. One person, two bodies. We're in one and the same.
Okay, maybe siblings aren't a thing on Alternia after all. Being literally the same person is quite a bit different from the human concept of twins or siblings. Somehow this leads them to telling you all about a number of exploits they had with some of the other kids in their neighborhood. One story led to another, and soon you're recounting some of your own adventures too. They particularly love your attempt at giving an impression of Nike, clapping and crowing as you get into a dramatic power stance and flex your flimsy muscles. Yeah. You can't help but feel a little proud of yourself. You feel like the guy on Jurassic Park who walked into a velociraptor den, all, "Be chill, my dudes," and they actually listened to him. Besides, there's something great about making kids laugh, even kids who were trying to murder you less than an hour ago. The twins are in the middle of talking about a prank they'd played that they found hilarious, and that you've been trying hard not to grimace in horror at, when you feel it, a certain change in the air. Didn't they mention they had been stuck here?
Did we? Yes, we have. When we try to get out the door, some sort of force pushes it back. You're the first other person we've seen since we got here.
You have a hunch that might have changed. Why don't you all try again? They look at you skeptically.
If you want. It's not going to be any different, though.
You just tell them to trust you. You look at the front door. The twins are crowding you from either side, clinging onto your arms and edging so close it's like they're trying to burrow into you. Ready? They nod. You push against the door. And we're outside. It opens, and you breathe in the cool evening air.
Not so fast. We've gotten this far before, but we won't be able to go any further. You'll see.
You take one step, then another. As you look beyond the grounds of the house, you see things you hadn't when you first got here. Mountains in the distance, other houses. Before, all you could see was shrubbery. You pick up the pace. The house falls away behind you, disappearing into the fog. Uh-oh. Resident Evil fog.
Whoa! You did it! You actually did it! We can finally leave!
They swoop in to grab you, hugging you hard. The curving horns of their masks almost stab you in the cheek. These things are a bit of a hazard when their wearers only come up to about where your chest is. They keep talking before you can get a word in, pulling you forwards and shuffling you along between them. It looks like you were right. It wasn't just enough to save yourself. You had to save them too. You don't know how, but the key of making this little patch of universes obey the rules of reality once more was friendship all along. Yeah, plus clown magic, whatever the circus is. Not so fast.
You should have seen your face. Your goddamn team seems terrified.
You heave a sigh as their incessant giggling surrounds you like so many playful ghosts. Yes, you say, very clever. They were the ones behind all this nonsense, weren't they? You start guessing somewhere towards the end. You wiggle your hands vaguely, all the time stuff. They sure scared you after, alright?
No. That wasn't us. We were talking about the bloody walls and creepy sounds. None of that was real. That was all us. That was all. Chuckle voodoos. We're the best of chuckle voodoos. We got you so good.
They both bounce beside you excitedly. You blink down at them. You have no idea what the heck chuckle voodoos are, but you can only guess that it's some sort of illusionary thing. So they didn't have anything to do with the time messing up. Folding in on itself?
No. We told you. We've been trying to get out of that stupid house. For wipes. Maybe even a pedigree. Did you really think that was our hive? Our place is so much cooler than that dump.
Visit their actual hive? You have your reservations about that, but you cannot find it within you to say no as they eagerly pull you along, one twin tugging your hand, the other looping an arm in yours. You look back at the house one last time. You have no clue whether the twins are lying or, if they're telling the truth, what really caused what happened here. But right now, you're content enough knowing that you'll never have to see this place ever again. Oh, we will. Do you want to understand? Yeah, of course we do. Of course you want to understand. Come on. Of course you do. Your sort of creatures always does. There we go. We're beginning the epilogue, I believe. Should we cut? Should we? Actually, yes, we shall. Yes. We shall make that a separate thing. Okay, yes. Okay. Yes. We shall make that a separate thing. Yes. The epilogue will continue on. Next time. A nice 34-minute chunk. And then the final one. Yes, yes. We will understand. For the next time. For the last time. Toodaloos.